Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Kirby Fair Show. We are here, and one of us is queer. It is Pride Month. Sam, welcome for being the straight representation.
I'm always here to be an ally. Sorry if you heard stuff falling over in the background. That's just my cat. We're getting close to dinner time, so that'll probably happen at our first break. But Tilly, she too is an ally. So happy Pride to everyone.
Happy Pride. First episode of the month. Chicago is fully in swing. They've been gearing up for a while they've been advertising. I think Jesse McCartney is coming.
Really?
There's a bunch of weird banners in the gay neighborhood with just Jesse McCartney's face on it. And there's no explanation of what's going to happen with that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I went out last night for my belated birthday. Because I was in New Orleans / Baton Rouge, my real birthday. Got a good group of gals together. Shout out Colleen. She's a teacher. So that's all good.
Big shout out.
Big shout out. Came home with a lot of numbers, and not as you'd think, and woke up to at least 5 new followers on Instagram that
Let's go.
Apparently. I do recall asking, I'm just going to these lesbian bars, I'm like, they're like, what do you do? And now that you don't have a job, I just say I have a podcast. And they're like, you have a podcast, let me support you. And I'm like, of course. And then they're like, well, here's my phone. I'm like, sweet. So now gotta really be on Instagram, which is my Achilles heel. But we're off to a great start. Sports are happening. WNBA is cooking. NBA playoffs. We're finally into the finals. You've been wondering, why has Kirby and Sam been talking about the NBA finals? I mean, the NBA playoffs for 8 months. It's because they somehow end up playing 80 games and then they want us to watch the playoffs for 2.5 months. NBA playoffs, we're featuring, of course, the Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Knicks took 4 L's, which is how you get beat. Yeah, lost in game 6. That's cool, though. It was a great season for the Knicks. Lost Tom Thibodeau. They fired him immediately after they lost the series, which is really interesting. There's a lot of goss going on about why he got fired, because if you make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and you get fired the next day, you must be a really shitty person and pissed off 3 of the wrong people.
People are at wit's end.
I mean, if what did he do that was so bad that it's worse than the Giants GM giving up Saquon to the Eagles? And that man kept his job.
Getting caught on camera saying man, if he goes to the Eagles, it'll be real bad or whatever.
In addition to the NBA Finals, the rundown for today, we're going to go over the WNBA a little bit, stunners and major shakeups, and then also probably one of my favorite things that occurred in the last day. Coco Gauff defeated Aryna Sabalenka to win her first French Open and her second Grand Slam title, but it came with plenty of drama, so we are definitely going to talk about that a little bit, and maybe we'll see a little role play, a little back and forth. We'll see. And then, of course, honorable mention. Fuck this dude. Aaron Rodgers finally signed with the Steelers.
Finally. Just wanted to get out of the optional training camp, but he'll be there for the real stuff.
Literally,
masterclass.
Cool.
Did you see in his signing picture, it looked like he had a wedding ring on?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is married. Because he had that ring on at the Kentucky Derby, too.
That's true.
So honorable mention to his secret wife. Texas softball took down Texas Tech to get their first championship in school history. That was Texas Tech really came from nowhere, and Patrick Mahomes really set him up with some Adidas gear and was even at the game. So we love women's sports. Nice. And then also major shout out. I'm basically best friends with Brandon Podziemski. We mentioned him, probably an honorable mention MVCutie, but he was out of the running at the time.
That's true.
He is currently holding the space as the white boy on the Golden State Warriors, and he is a major fan of the Valkyries, the new WNBA team in San Francisco. And they post almost every single game a picture of him going insane. And so I reposted the Valkyrie's story of him like being super hype. And I say at whatever, waiting for that big check so he can be a partial owner. And he replied with the laughing face. And then I was like, gooped. So then trying my luck, I'm like, hey, Brandon, no way. Loving your support for the girls. It means a lot to see a guy with your resume going crazy for women's basketball. And you know what, Sam? He liked my message. So
Liked it.
look, I'm in communication with an NBA player. Next up is a WNBA player. So
We might need to next season. You might not be partial enough for the MVQT awards if Brandon's going to be out here giving you heart reacts on Instagram.
You're right, but there's no reason to be partial.
Yeah.
To not be
When
partial.
were these ever partial?
Yeah, what's the point? It's literally my opinion. But yeah, so we've had a pretty good week. We've been blessed. And yeah, I want to turn it over. Where do we want to start?
Why don't we just hit game 1 of the finals?
Look, as a Knicks fan, I'm glad everyone is seeing this in real life. Because Tyrese Haliburton and the Pacers do it again. Do you want to break it down for us, Sam?
Yeah, Pacers, once again, game 1 has happened. Game 2 is happening tonight. Pacers, just the whole game, they're behind, and it's just like everyone's like, okay, Oklahoma City, all the fans are wearing the white shirts that Kirby loves. And everyone's like, okay, yeah, Pacers they're winning as we expected, but
no, Oklahoma City.
What'd you say?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, sorry. I misspoke. Oklahoma City. But, if you have been following the Pacers this playoff series, and especially if you've been following the Eastern Conference Finals, all right, there's, 2-3 minutes left. Pacers are down. Let's just tune in and see. That's just kind of like, okay, well, this is when the game is really beginning. And they did it again. Do you have it here where they were down? How much they were down by? Doesn't
15.
matter. They were down. They were down 15.
By 15 with 10 minutes left.
With 10 minutes. And they bring it back. The clock is winding down. Somehow, it's like they inbound the ball with like 15 seconds. They're down, like one?
One.
At this point. And everyone's just kind of sitting there shell-shocked already because they're like, no way that they're doing this again. And little do we know, here comes MVP of the Cutie Awards, Tyrese Haliburton. And he just hits this sort of mid-range jumper, hits it with 0.3 seconds left. And Kirby, that was the first lead that the Pacers had all night with 0.3 seconds left.
The first half was atrocious. I was like, Pacers aren't ready for the moment. 19 turnovers in the first half. But it was weird because the Thunder are, I believe they have the most, force the most turnovers in the league, but they just didn't capitalize on any of these turnovers. So they're only up by 10 throughout most of the first half. And you're kind of like, okay. But I'm like, maybe it was 9, but one of my bucket list items is to stay up later for the summer. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep watching it.
That's a bucket list item.
Look, I've been going to sleep really early, 10. But Caroline and I are in a bit of a war of TV watching. So I figured if we just stay up later, we have more opportunities to watch each other's shows.
Watch everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of juicy stuff happening. Temptation Island, chef's kiss. But anyways, it was completely different in the second half. Because I'm like, well, I guess I'll stay up a little bit, Maybe they'll come back, but it's not looking good. And then it was really an offense, but then Indiana's defense was also super good, which was kind of crazy. And then they were like, oh, let's just throw it to the corners. And they were 48.5% on corner threes in the playoffs.
Yeah, just insane numbers shooting for the Pacers this playoff run. And it's that's how they're doing this. And it's unreal that this is even happening.
It's about as rare as hitting green lights consecutively. It's about it's probably about as rare as the Olsen twins coming back to acting. So I want to play this audio from the last couple of seconds.
Shot clock and game clock. Gilgeous-Alexander spins, pulls up, jumper. Off the mark, won't go. Rebound, Neesmith. The Pacers with a chance to win it. Final seconds, no fouls to give. Haliburton looking. Haliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 0.3 of a second remaining. Timeout, OKC. Tyrese Haliburton does it again.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is why I stayed up, because I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, there's a feeling.
And what's this dude's name? Richard Jefferson.
Yeah.
So Richard Jefferson ends up sounding like an asshole. In the last seconds, eating his words. What an idiot.
He has these games where he goes in and out, where he can be dominant and look like one of the best players in the league. And there's other dates where he puts up 12, 10, and 6. Those are tour dates. Your best player can't put up tour dates in the NBA Finals. That is what Tyrese Haliburton has been doing all postseason. Taking his time, you give him half a step and knocks it down with 0.3.
No hesitation.
You know Doris was sitting there like, and that's why I wasn't saying anything, because I believe in my MVCutie, unlike y'all out here trying to diss dudes like no one's business.
It's true.
And that's my girl Doris. She's had a comeback story after accidentally saying the N-word on national television. Appreciate that perseverance, Doris. They can never get us out. Now that we're in, women are never getting out.
I want to say, Kirby, what is it like texting with your dad? Is it like pretty stereotypical dad texts?
What have I sent you recently that you're asking?
No, I swear, this is a segue.
Okay. Typical dad texts. I would say they're rather abnormal compared to how other people seem to text their father. But just because he really wants to be on the podcast, but we can't have two unhinged people.
But anyway, where I was going with that, shout out, Deanne's husband, my dad. He's a very...
Does he have a name?
Unique texter. Adam, yeah.
Adam?
It's usually, pretty brief responses that come in. But anyway, it's game one's about to start. And he texts the family group chat, Pacers all the way. And I'm like, okay, yeah. He's, Gary, Indiana, born, Midwest guy. He and my mom, they both watch The Fever. And so I was like, that's who CC is going to be cheering for. My dad just says, ISU. You know what that means, Kirby?
Iowa State University?
Iowa State University. And their most famous NBA alumni right now?
Tyrese
Haliburton. And so I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm like, UNC player. He's on the Pacers too. My dad just follows it up. Haliburton. Misspells it.
What? Brutan?
Haliburton. And I'm like, heck yeah. And then, and so then, I'm watching the game and I see the game winner. And so I just have to send back Haliburton, which didn't get a response from anyone in the, my mom and my sister are also in this group chat. Yesterday, I sent a picture of Tilly in her new cat tower. Also, no response.
Yeah, Caroline saw that and was like, this cat has a habitat.
She's loving it. She's in it right now. I was just going to say, my dad he watches sports and he's always anti-UNC for me and anti-NC State for my sister and anti-Iowa for my mom. It's he's just a hater for all of these schools. Kirby, I think you have another big bombshell for us about Oklahoma.
So I have this theory. I've been thinking about it a lot. Had a reckoning moment with just generally thinking about Oklahoma as a state. And I realized I don't know anyone from Oklahoma. I went to multiple schools, I guess 2 different colleges, I guess. Mm-hmm. First guy I met from Oklahoma was at Harvard Law School. And he's literally a cowboy. He's so sweet and I love him so much. But he was like, oh, I'm from Oklahoma. And I was like, huh. And then it clicked. Because then I started listening to this podcast. Mm-hmm. And this girl was like, oh yeah, I'm from Oklahoma. And I was like, wait. So then I started going around being like, hey, you know anyone from Oklahoma? Because I like to do focus groups in public. And they're like, no. No, I don't. And I'm like, see? And they're like, see what? So then I'm at dinner with my dad on my birthday. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. 4 million people in the state of Oklahoma. I'm like, that can't be true. Y'all, there's only 4 million people in the state of Oklahoma. That's why no one leaves. If you think people don't leave the South, hey, check up on the Midwest / whatever we're calling Oklahoma, because we need to go in there and see what's happening. I have no clue what Oklahoma is, and no one else does, except this one guy I met in Athens, and this really proves my point. He was like walking around, and I was with the group, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, I'm just looking for dinner. And I was like, we're going to dinner. Come with us. So we go, and he's talking. He like works for this company. I don't really know. And he's there for business. And I'm like, oh, what's your deal? Like, where are you from? And he's like, Oklahoma. I was like, huh, okay. And so then he goes, we're like, oh, where'd you go? And he's like, yeah, I just graduated from Oklahoma Christian, whatever. And I'm like, okay, weird. And he's like, yeah, look at this picture of my child and also my wife, who also is pregnant currently with my second child. And this man, I'm like, whoa, how old are you? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm 22.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh. And you married a girl from Oklahoma, and you're going back to Oklahoma. So no one has ever met anyone from Oklahoma, and they just like don't exist. Because the thing is, think of it this way. There are 10 people on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I'm pretty sure that has to be like 5% of the population. So that's just my theory. I need you guys from Oklahoma to stand up a little bit more.
No, I was going to say, I don't know anyone from Oklahoma.
See?
I know one guy who went to Oklahoma State University, but then I think he transferred away to like Notre Dame or something. And I'm like, okay.
There's this girl. Actually, she's fictional. Never mind. Should we take a break, Sam?
Yeah, I'll just say one final note. I'll put my history minor to use here. You can cut this if you want.
I was a history minor too.
Shout out. Definitely, I didn't do like any U.S. history in college. But anyway, I think Oklahoma was primarily like Native American reservations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think if you look at like the native land, it's like the actual outline and silhouette of Oklahoma is there. And then it's just like slowly shrinking down, as Manifest Destiny happens and colonization. So yeah, that's probably why we don't see that many Oklahomans.
I do wonder what the population is. 62% of Oklahoma is white, and 9% is African American. And 9% is American Indian. But who knows if they're counting Native people correctly.
That's true.
Oklahoma needs a resurgence. I'm a little scared. It just feels like a hole, like a black hole. And I am like, why is no one noticing this?
The only way we can get more eyes on this, I think, is if Oklahoma City Thunder, they can make some noise in the playoffs, and we can really use that as a platform to make more awareness of Oklahoma.
I don't think that's true. I just really don't. I think it'll end and we'll be like, all right, remember when they were good back in 2012? But my man LeBron still beat them in the NBA Finals. Gotta sneak in LeBron somehow. But anyways, we'll be back on the other side. Tilly has to have her dinner.
Are you like me and live in a bogus area of the United States that doesn't have central AC? If so, first, I'm sorry. But boy, do I have the solution for you. The Medea U-shaped window AC will save your sanity, your relationships, and your wallet. The Medea is ultra quiet and ultra cooling, with that cool breeze flowing up to 20 feet. And if you're weird, you can also connect it to Wi-Fi and control using your phone. Wowza! The U-shaped design allows you to completely close and open your window without risking the lives of passerbys below your overpriced New York apartment. Medea. It's heavy, but worth it.
And we're back.
We're back, and
We're back.
we're in tennis season, which is apparently all year long, but now we're in the summer, so we've all got time to watch a little tennis.
That's
And
true.
I'll say, really what was back? Whatever this Ronaldo, Garaglasogo, whatever they're calling the French Open, their social media presence has been unbelievable. They're actually I know what was happening. They post all the time. And so I'm really proud of you guys. If you're listening, that was a really good job on y'all's end. And that made it so much easier for me to catch very early that our girl Coco Gauff, as I said at the top, won the French Open. She is the first American woman to win the French Open since Serena Williams in 2015. Let's go Black women. But it did not come without a little drama, Sam. Let me break
As
it
you've
down
made me
to
aware.
you.
Yeah.
It's pretty much to a T what I would call girl drama. No, seriously. One girl bad talking another girl, and then our girl being like, yeah. But we're going to do a little role playing, guys, so we can explain it to you. I'm very excited for this. Sam, don't get too excited. We're just reading
I'll
lines.
contain myself.
So basically what happened was that Coco Gauff played Aryna Sabalenka, whooped her ass, basically. And Sabalenka was like, I had a really bad game. I think she said she had like 70 unforced errors. Which, yeah, isn't how you win the game unless you're the Pacers. And she comes out and says some shit, being like, yeah, so Coco probably shouldn't have won that game. And then Coco comes back and says some shit. And then Sabalenka issues a public apology. Your typical Black Instagram story with white writing.
With the note, the iPhone note.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to be Sabalenka, obviously, because you're white. Can you do an accent? Right. Any accent?
What accent are we looking for here?
I believe she's Russian.
Russian?
Or you could do Scottish, just to differentiate.
Scottish. I can do a southern accent.
All right. It's better than making you play the Black woman character.
That's true. All right. If Iga had beaten me the other day, I think she would have gone out today and gotten the win. I think she won the match not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes.
Sam. Oscar.
Thank you.
So what that's referring to is Sabalenka played in the semifinals Iga Swiatek. So then she was like, Coco wouldn't have won if Iga was playing, which is like such a weird thing to say in the first place. Like,
yeah, it's weird. It's like, okay, if the person I beat yesterday was playing this person that I lost to, they would have won, which makes me beating them yesterday invalidate my losing today. It's just like a weird mental gymnastic jump through.
It's even weirder than like, oh, if we would have made that shot, we would have won. And it's like, well, you didn't make the shot. So like, how do you even know that you would have won? But yeah, so then Coco claps back and she goes, I mean, I don't agree with that. I'm sitting here as the champion. Sorry about it. No shade to Iga or anything, but last time I played her, I won in straight sets. Queen. I don't think that's a fair thing to say. Because anything can really happen. That's what we're all saying here, Coco. And then she follows up with, the way Aryna was playing the last few weeks, she was the favorite to win. So I think she was the best person that could have played in that final. And I still beat her ass. That last part, she didn't mention. But she did mention beating Iga Swiatek's ass. And being like, even if I did play Iga, I would have beat her too. And because I don't know. Sabalenka saying that was like, why are you on this girl's side? So then you follow up. Maybe not with a southern accent.
Not with the southern accent. All right, yeah. So then Sabalenka, she had to eat crow and issue an apology. She said, yesterday was a tough one. Coco handled the conditions much better than I did and fully deserved the win. She was the better player yesterday, and I want to give her the credit she earned. Mm-hmm. You all know me. I'm always going to be honest and human in how I process these moments. I made over 70 unforced errors, so I can't pretend it was a great day for me. But both things can be true. I didn't play my best, and Coco stepped up and played with poise and purpose. She earned that title. Respect. Time to rest, learn, and come back stronger.
I mean, yeah, let's say some shit, and then I apologize and say, I just gotta rest and come back stronger, so I can also be a soy loser again. I think the best thing that could happen in this case is that if the bracket comes out for Wimbledon, and let's say like Iga or Sabalenka is in Coco's group, and then one of them is in the other group, and she has to beat Iga and then beat Sabalenka, that would be tea. So then she'd be like, obviously I'm better than both of y'all, and thank you very much. Also, I will take my Wimbledon, and Serena Williams will come down and celebrate with me because girl power. And she'll probably be wearing some cute shit, even though New Balance doesn't sell that to the public. They only sell ugly shit. But that's okay.
Oh, they're saving all the cute stuff?
Oh yeah, 100%. But let's talk a little bit more about, there's a lot of shade going on
Girl
actually
drama
in the WNBA right now. Led by, what could you say, sore winners? I think so. So through 8 games, just to table set, the Liberty and the Lynx are 8-0. Clearly they haven't played each other yet. And also look out for the Atlanta Dream. They're 5-3, complete turnaround from last year. They got Brittany Griner back. And they kind of have like a lot of B-tier players, but they're doing a lot better than, say, the Wings. Also, the Fever are at 500. They've been without Caitlin for a while.
Stayed afloat without Caitlin, yep.
I think they're 1-2. It must be 2-2 now after they played this guy who was just miserable. They're incredibly bad. And it's making this Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese drama unbearable. And then the only teams worse than this guy are the Sun and the Wings. Notably, the Sun was the team that self-imploded. And only left is Marina Mayberry. And then the Wings have Paige Beckers. She's been on a concussion protocol for maybe like a week, but she is just being released from that. In addition, update on Caitlin Clark. She's day-to-day after this weekend with that hamstring injury. And is being the absolute worst on the bench. She even tried to sit in the head coach's seat. And is still yelling at refs.
Yeah, I think I saw a video where it's like, she's injured player, she's on the bench, and she's like walking onto the court trying to like argue with the refs about a call or something. It's like, you're not even like an active player right now. Like you can't do that.
And she's only wearing sweats, like, some girls, kind of like, the NBA, they'll show up and like dress to the nines, and she's still like, all right, I'll wear my all white. Did you see Paige Beckers though? I was trying to make a video about it. Paige Beckers showed up to the LA Sparks game on the prowl. Like, that girl looks like the ultimate fuckboy. And she was acting like it too. The way she was like smiling at girls, I was like, get out of here. Yeah, so Caitlin Clark clearly has a coaching career and will be literally ref's worst nightmare. But what's really been going on lately is the girlies are capitalizing on all of the attention that is coming due to Caitlin Clark. There's this new live stream series, which I'm always against live streams, called Stud Budz, with the Lynx players Courtney Williams and Natasha Heidemann. They'll bring on other WNBA players, Zoom them in. I'm pretty sure they just like FaceTime half of them. So they're really using, that like we're the fun ones in the league and we can reach out to anyone. Mm-hmm. And they've just been really talking honest. As two members of the 8-0 team, they call up Marina Mayberry, who fighting for her life over there in Connecticut. And Courtney Williams had commented on, I think it was the Suns' Instagram post, because they have to report every like game, even if it's a horrible loss.
Post the score, yep.
The Suns lost 52-100 to the Liberty. And Courtney Williams had the audacity to comment damn underneath it. And then Marina Mayberry comes on the show and she's like, look, what the fuck? That really hurt my feelings. And I was like, shit just got real. And Courtney's like, no, man, like I meant like, damn. And it's like, And then she says it like 3 different ways and it all means the same thing. Man, kick a girl while she's down. And then the second one came out yesterday. And I think they're going to shut this down pretty soon. They had DJ Carrington on, who's on the Dallas Wings, famously playing with her girlfriend, Nilissa Smith. I will remember her name. Mm-hmm. And they're like, Dallas won a game? Y'all are 1-8? Who'd y'all beat? Connecticut? And then they just start guessing bad teams. I'm like, y'all are really getting yourself into a hole here. It really felt like, when you're talking, you get out of your depth and they're like, why don't you like stop while you're ahead? But then they're like, no, who'd y'all beat? And she's like, DJ Carrington, they're like, yeah, Connecticut.
Dang.
That's major shade. You can't be doing that.
They might be picking up some enemies if they keep doing this.
It's giving like Pat McAfee back in the day when he was on Twitter and he got like banned from Twitter by the Colts.
Or like the Draymond Green podcast or whatever.
Oh, well, he's unhinged. Like, there's nothing. He's not coming. I mean, really, it's really more like, how have they not stopped the Micah Parsons podcast? That's the one that really needs to go. If you're out here naming quarterbacks and your quarterback's not on the list and you're like, you know what? That guy really doesn't need to make that much money. Like, what are we doing out here? I barely should have a mic at 26, let alone someone with like a major following who's 22. If I had a mic on me at 22, I'd either be a billionaire or I would be deceased. Like, it was either or for me. But yeah, so the WNBA is creating controversy within itself. And I'll always say, guys, never go live. Don't go live.
Never go live. There's always so many videos where it's like person and team that just won the championship goes live and you see like the coach's speech or whatever. They're always like, oh, should have gone live. Like that happens, I feel like, every couple of years. And it's funny just to see a glimpse.
You know, Easy Fido in Connecticut on UConn? She played, obviously, with Paige Beckers. And there's like this lingering theory that they're dating. Mm-hmm. And she goes live all the time and is basically about to out herself.
And all the comments are like asking about Paige or something.
Like there's full on YouTube compilations at this point with a lot of evidence.
I think I have heard of that, actually.
A ton of evidence. So look, if I hear it, I'll believe it. If I see it, I'll definitely believe it. But with AI these days.
You know what? Who are we to judge? It's like we started the show with, it's June, it's Pride Month, you know. Love is love.
We love love.
I'm an ally over here.
I also like to sleuth and be a little gay lesbian detective.
Yeah, I mean, you can have fun with these things, but you know, you got to be respectful.
Guys, I forgot to say at the top, this is why I write it in the show notes. You got to like, listen, and subscribe. All the girlies I met at the club, thank you for following the Kirby Fair Show. Everybody else should. Clearly, we're down to support gay people and all of the other letters. So come join the party. Sam is the ally of the year.
Happy to accept this award
with him. He is not into men. I've asked at least 3 times.
At least.
But, you know, it's a long life.
Because, you know, on the third ask, legally, we have to tell the truth. So
right. Exactly. It's like a deathbed
she's gone to the bottom
at that point.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I definitely did after I made Sam wait an entire hour to talk to me. I really thought I had a handle on the day, and then it slipped away from me. Got a little writer's block. Because this is a well thought out show, if you can't tell.
It happens. No, it is. You got to give Kirby the props. The notes for the show, we've upped the game the past couple month or two. And a lot of it's Kirby putting in the hard work. So listeners out there, if that doesn't deserve a like and a subscribe, I don't know what does.
Sorry, you're too kind. And I've started writing when I come up with a joke into my notes app. And then I totally forget about it when I make these. So I just have
she's gonna have a stand-up routine
tons of good jokes in the bank that aren't used. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening. As always, you're beautiful. Maybe come up with a name for yourselves. I don't know. We love a group cult. I think I'm a very talented leader. And obviously I can talk like no one's business. I got invited to this silent reading hour.
Oh no.
And I was like, absolutely not. I'm not coming to that. A, I haven't read a book in like 3 months. And B, I can't sit down for an hour, let alone not talk. So instead, I'm doing this.
The exact opposite of silent
reading.
The
exact opposite. My favorite thing to do is talk. Unless I'm out at you. And then you're going to get the silent treatment.
Then you'll know.
And with that, thank you, Sam, for joining.
As always.
Goodbye.
It's a pleasure. See you.